Gringos from That's right, we are back in Querétaro, and today we are living like Mexicans. Okay. Living like a Mexican, living like a local. Many of you are probably wondering what the heck that means and where we came up with this idea, and I think mostly it stems from every now and then, really not too often, we just get comments about like live like a local or live like a Mexican or I don't know, some variation of that, and it just got me to thinking, similar to the Real Mexico video we did, what does it mean to live like a local? What does it mean to live like a real Mexican? We'll get to that in a little bit. So far today, we woke up, luckily, at 6. We went to a workout, we've worked, we've edited, we've responded to comments, we've written a blog post, we've posted a new blog post, we did 2 or 3 blog posts. We did Instagram, we chatted with you on WhatsApp,
Facebook messages,
We've been working, not in the traditional sense that like most people go to a job and work, but so far today we've been working. We're going to a work meeting, I suppose.
If you call what we do work, I suppose, then we do have a work appointment.
There is a lot of fun in what we do, but there's also a lot of behind the scenes. People do want us to show, like show us what your day looks like. It's It's a lot of us sitting at the computer, and that's not super fun to show, but we're gonna go to this meeting. We're gonna try not to be late.
We're gonna be about 5 minutes late, so right on time.
Yeah, so we are living like a Mexican.
Yeah.
What does it mean to live like a local slash, almost said hashtag, slash, what does it mean to live like a Mexican? I have like several thoughts, several questions about this, and things I want you to think about. I don't know why, this is all a thinking exercise. Okay, we've lived in Mexico City, we've lived in Querétaro, and now Vallarta. To live like a local, to live like a Mexican in any one of those places means something completely different.
So different.
So question number 1 is live like a Mexican where? A Mexican in Monterrey, a Mexican in Chilangolandia, a Mexican in rural Oaxaca, because I think that is a completely different experience.
Even the day-to-day, like mundane tasks. For example, someone who's lived in Mexico City all their life may wake up every day and jump on the metro, whereas someone living on the outskirts of Vallarta may not have even ever been on a metro. So I think that's just one example of like the day-to-day, how living like a Mexican or living like a local can mean something entirely different.
And I bring this question up not really to combat with anybody, not to argue with anybody, but because we are living in Mexico, we want to live. I mean, we want to live like Mexicans, or else we would just live in the States.
Right.
And we want to live, I don't know, our life to be different. We want to learn about the culture, the traditions, the food, the history. So really, I'm coming at this from a question of like, how can we do better? But going back to the metro, Mexicans ride the metro. Mexicans use taxis. They use Ubers. They have cars. Mexicans are on the Querétaro local buses. They're on the Vallarta local buses. They're also parking their Mercedes right around the block. They're driving their Audi, their Honda, their Volkswagen.
Their valet parking.
So it really, I feel like I hear people say, well, like, I'm gonna use the buses because that's what the locals do. Yes, yes, you're,
no.
Yes, like you are right, and also to drive your Mercedes is right. We can't afford a Mercedes, so don't worry about that.
But if Mercedes wants to sponsor us, we wouldn't say no.
No, hashtag Mercedes sponsorship.
No, I think it's very interesting. I think a lot of times, I think sometimes the connotation of live like a Mexican or live like a local implies riding a public transportation and perhaps shopping at markets. And I don't know, while there are some Mexicans that do those things, there's
a lot of Mexicans that do those things, and those are very traditional things you think of in terms of the market, or maybe in terms of people, maybe the connotation or inference is that we eat a certain type of food, or we eat at a certain type of food establishments, and while those may be more traditional than
newer, trendier restaurants. That doesn't mean those aren't here either. We're off our rant now.
Almost. We're going to show you a few clips of this beautiful city and then give you our score, if you will, of ourselves of whether we think we
10!
are living like Mexicans or not.
10.
Do we live like locals? Do we live like
10.
Mexicans? What do you think, Lita?
I think living like a Mexican encompasses our lifestyle almost to a T. We take Ubers, we take buses, we took the metro in Mexico City, we go to Soriana, we go to hole-in-the-wall markets, we go to Oxxos, we eat dinner at Oxxos, we go to mom and pop corner stores like that, we walk everywhere, we drive everywhere, we go to the gym, we sit behind our computers and work all day long.
We like tortas de chilaquil, that's kind of more chilango.
Yeah.
We think it's cold when it's 50 degrees outside, another chilango thing.
We don't have air conditioning.
We live without air conditioning. We don't wear jeans in the summertime. For that, we're not Mexican.
Yeah, here's the reason we haven't quite assimilated fully into Mexican culture. We eat dinner at 5 p.m. and are in bed every day no later than 9.
Well, and even sometimes when we say that, we get comments, guys, you've got to stay up late. You have to eat dinner when Mexicans eat dinner. And, I don't know, I'm just hard-headed. No, we don't. We get up, I don't know, I like to go to bed really early and I like to wake up early. I know many of you get up, I asked on Twitter, many of you get up at 5, 4 something, and you might go to bed at 11. I wish I could do that, but you would not get a video every single day if we did that. I would be very cranky, and that leads to my next thing. In a lot of ways, we do not live like Mexicans whatsoever. We don't live like U.S. citizens, Americans whatsoever, or Chinese whatsoever. I don't know who we live like.
We live like the Connecticutans.
We are weird people that put videos on YouTube every single day. We film a
lot of our lives.
Sections of our day, large sections of our day to show you Mexico, to show you our life in Mexico. We put on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We, I don't know, we live a very weird life that I don't think really encompasses a normal Mexican lifestyle or normal US-onian lifestyle.
Whatever that may mean.
All I can say is we try and make connections and friends and acquaintances in every city that we live in.
Yeah.
Some of that is seen on camera, much of that is not seen on camera. We try and learn as much about every single place that we travel to, evidenced by the videos that we make and our Instagram and
thank you, Mexico, for adopting us as your own.
yeah, so all that to say is I think when people say things like that, I think we should all think before we say things like that. And really, you can still say it, but I'm just curious, when people say it, what do you mean when you say it? I think it needs further explanation. And moreover, I want to ask you, other than, let's suppose you are Mexican, other than being born in Mexico, what makes you Mexican? What do you think your traits are, your habits, maybe?
Surviving winter and summer in jeans.
Exactly. What makes you different? Maybe culturally, maybe personality-wise than someone from the States, because I think, we're just being born in the United States, sure, that makes you a U.S. citizen, it makes you American, just like being born in Mexico does, but, I think there's certain habits and traits and cultural things that kind of make you assimilate you into that society and that culture, and I'm curious as to what you feel like makes you Mexican.
Thank you guys so much for following us on a day in the life. Were we supposed to finish the video?
Yeah, I think so. We still have some other things to do today. It's 3:30. I've got to go teach. I'm gonna go teach English. We're going to make.
I'm gonna paint my nails.
Hillary's gonna make dinner. We're gonna finish up on some kinetic Kinnon's work. So you saw, even in a day in the life video, we still really. I'm not gonna carry around the camera 24/7, so you still only see a small section of our day, but hopefully it provides an insight.
Yeah.
If not into our lives, into the lives of Mexicans, maybe, I don't know. We don't know what we're doing. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Click the bell that we get notified
every time
we upload a new video, and we will see you with, what are we doing tomorrow? I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. We'll see you when.
Mañana.
Bye.
Bye.